Hey, my babies, it's me, Keisha, and I'm here with this week's All Tea, All Shade Power Book 2 Go Season 4, Episode 7 recap. All right, you guys. So, right in the beginning of the episode, we find out whether or not Diana lost the baby after getting beat down by the crooked officer Felicia. And she, in fact, did. And Tariq was the one that had to tell her. She cried. She was really upset. You could tell Tariq was really hurt by it as well. And you could tell like he was on demon time, ready to go. She rested some more and then she woke up on 10, blaming him for being in the game, being in the life, and not protecting her like he said he would, and all of that. But I'm like, girl, you can't blame this on him. You blame this on your family. This ain't had nothing to do with Tariq. This had everything to do with your mama and your brothers and everything. But, misplaced anger, I guess. But she told him to skedaddle. And he was like, really? And she was like, yeah, get out. So he left, but on his way out, he ran into Monet and told Monet what was going on. And she was really disappointed about, losing her grandbaby. Like, everybody feels so bad for Diana. And I'm sad that they had her lose the baby. I wish that they wouldn't have done that. I think that the storyline would have been better if she kept the baby. And I think it would have added a little bit more depth to Tariq's character, considering the fact that this is the series finale of the show. So I'm like, with only, 2 more episodes or something like that to go, like, really, where is this season about to head? Like, how is this about to end? Because this Carter storyline is not it at all. And speaking of Detective Carter, Tate learns that his brother Kamal has been murdered, and Carter is there pretending like he don't know what's going on. He's giving his condolences. You can tell he feels guilty for what he did because Kamal was an innocent person and they're supposed to be protecting the innocent, and he's taking innocent lives. Like, he's lost his way. He was already crazy, but he knows deep down inside that his deceased wife would not want this from him. So Tate is like, whoever did this, I want their head on the swivel. You need to find out who did this ASAP. Tate is making it very clear that he is not going to stop until his brother gets justice. So Carter knows that he has to give him something to get him off of his back because he's great at his job. And he knows that if Tate gets to snooping around, it is a wrap for them. So he blames it on the Russians. And so he was like, I'm going to handle this for you. I promise, I got you. So Tate is like, I bet. Tariq and Brayden end up getting fired from hosting these parties for Rushandria's little group and everything like that, because of course they found out now that they are dealing drugs on the premises. And so the rapper of the group came and shut it down and was like, y'all, we done with y'all. We don't want to have nothing else to do with y'all. And Tariq and Brayden him up real quick. Dude was like, get up off me. He left. And Tariq snapped on Brayden because it was all of his fault, because he got his dumb ass on that stage high as a kite and blew their cover. And it's just another L that they've taken because of Brayden and this drug habit of his. And Tariq just ain't feeling it. Brayden's still over there sniffing coke and all of that good stuff. And on top of that, before dude even came and confronted them, Tariq had just told Brayden that Diana lost the baby. So it's just one thing after another. I really can't wait to see how things are going to end for Brayden's character. I don't know. I just feel like with it only being 2-3 episodes left, I really, 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 really am standing on the fact that this is not over for these characters. I really feel like 50 is going to start a new show, a continuation show or something like that with these characters. I really don't feel like the story is over. I feel like the story is over on the Starz network, but not over entirely, because it's just too many like loose ends for it to be tied up in a nice bow in just a few more episodes. But Detective Carter tells his team to take care of the Russians so Tate won't start tripping. Meanwhile, Felicia being hella disrespectful about Kamal's passing. And the other little detective dude was like, he didn't deserve that. He was a good guy. Yeah, he was a little pipsqueak or whatever. He wasn't a part of our crew, but he still didn't deserve to be unalive like that. And, whoever did it needs to be ashamed of themselves. So Carter is feeling even worse about it. And he tells Felicia to show Kamal respect regardless, because she don't care about nothing. She just out here living young and reckless. Shout out to Now That's TV. And she just is a dog. Like, I don't like her. Like, get her off of my screen. I couldn't wait for her to be unalived. It was just like, ew, gross. You're gross. So Kane peeps that Noma and Davis are fucking, and of course he's a little jealous because he can't believe that she's letting somebody else hit, but she has to quickly remind him that I'm your boss and you don't get to tell me who I give my cootie cat to. You better be happy that you getting this monkey. Okay. So Noma demands that he find out who's behind all of these, hits on her. You know what I'm saying? Like, people trying to take my product, this, that, and the third. Like, you need to find out. Now, he knows who's behind it. He knows that his mama and them was behind it. But, of course, he can't give them up. So, he's going to continue to play like it's the Russians as well. At least that's what I think that I got out of that whole conversation. Tariq pops up on Tasha. So happy to see her character. Hate the wig as always. Tasha was giving me Miss Pearl from 227. Like the younger version. The outfit, the wig, everything. I'm like, ooh, girl, get it together. But he popped up on his mama, and his little sister, Yaz, is so excited to see him. And Tasha like, what you doing here? And he was playing it off like, nothing. I just, wanted to check on y'all, make sure y'all was good. But she was like, boy, you lie just like your father. Like, tell the truth. Like, you're here for a reason. So he eventually tells her about Diana and the baby. And Tasha, is sad, because this baby represented hope for both the Tejadas and the St. Patrick's family. But she also reminds him that to not get caught up in her family stuff, because they got their own, issues and situations, and the end game for them is for them to be reunited as a family. And I'm like, is that gonna happen in the next 3 episodes? Like, how are they gonna wrap this up? So she also tells him to be strategic in the moves that he's making, and unaliving a cop ain't the smartest thing to do. It's other ways to do things. Basically telling him, nigga, get in your bag. You wasn't raised by no dummies. You was raised by the best. You got bits of me, Tommy, your father, and Kanan in you. You know what I'm saying? Use that, to the best of your abilities. And Tariq was taking all of that in. After that, Monet tells Detective Carter what Felicia did to Diana, and you could tell that he did not like what he was hearing. An innocent baby was unalived. Kamal, who was innocent, was unalived. Like, it's like the walls are just crumbling in on him, and this crusade that he was on has turned so nasty and dirty and vile, and you could tell he's feeling really guilty about it, but he's so far in it that he can't turn back now. So she demands, that we gonna handle Felicia after what she just did to my daughter. But he tells her, no, I will handle Felicia. You stay in your place, Red, and get somewhere and have several. And Monet was like, nigga, fuck you. Like, I'm sick of you. Like, she is really getting sick of him and his shenanigans. So Drew ends up calling Diana from jail, and she tells him about the baby and everything, and how the detective Felicia was the one that did it. And he's so remorseful and apologizes and was like, I promise when I get out, I'm going to handle this for you. And she was like, all y'all want to handle this for me, but I need to handle this for myself. Monet trying to handle it, Tariq trying to handle it, you trying, no, I'm going to handle it. And she takes her mama's gun out of her drawer and she hangs up on Drew. And I don't blame her, because he was one of the main people that was calling her stupid and this, that, and the third. But they still have a very close relationship. So I could tell like he was genuinely concerned and regretful for the way that he was acting. But Diana is straight up on demon time. She wants revenge for what that lady did to her because she really wanted her baby, and I don't blame her. Back at the precinct, Detective Carter confronts Felicia about what she did to Diana. At first, she tried to deny it, but then she was just basically on some like, fuck her. Fuck her drug dealing mama and brothers. Like, who cares about some little, basically little dirty little black girl? That's really what she wanted to say. And he looking at her like, oh, you back on that shit. And she was like, no. He was like, yes, you are. And so she tells him that Diana didn't listen. She told Diana to take care of Zion and she didn't. She told Tariq to do it. And he was like, I told you to do it. And he was like, so that means that Tariq and them did it at the safe house, which really will blow back on them and get them in even more trouble. So Felicia was like, she found this out on, surveillance video, and says that she wiped it out of the system. The video she was showing him on her phone was the only, copy left. So he tells her not to tell anybody about this, none of the other detectives that they got in their little crew, and to go home and that he will handle everything. But he was really, really upset with her, but refused to let Monet and them unalive her. I guess because, she was his homie or whatever. But I was like, at this point, with everything that she's done, I thought that they were going to have Carter start setting her up to make it look like she was the one that unalived Zion and had been doing all of this dirty stuff behind everybody's back. I even thought that he was going to frame her for Kamal's passing and everything, but he was staying 10 toes down and loyal to her. And I was like, I don't understand why, but okie dokie. So Diana ends up following Felicia home because she wants revenge, and she wants revenge now. Detective Carter and one of the other little dirty cops in his crew go into this crack den. I don't know what it was, child. And they pulled up on the Russians. He unalived one. And I think that the other detective knew that he'd done it, but he was just playing along. Was that just me, or do y'all feel that way too? I think that he knew that Carter had did something dirty and framed it to make it seem like the man had committed, shot. But he was like, Carter was like, that's the one that killed Kamal or whatever. Now we can report it, this, that, and the third. So he's basically framing this innocent man to make it seem like he was the one that unalived Kamal. All along, it was him. But this will get Tate off of their back. So the other detective plays along, right along with him. Like, yeah, sure. He's the one that did it. Yep, I believe you. Back in jail, Drew ends up unaliving the inmate that was going to snitch on Carter. He ended up creeping into his cell and strangling him. And I was like, okay, Drew, you putting in some work. So now that he's done what he needed to do, he's released from jail. And he ends up spilling all of the beans to Detective Carter about the Russians and how Monet lied about that or whatever, and that they were really protecting Noma. And he did it to keep his family safe, but now that's just dug a deeper hole for them with the Carter situation. So Diana creeps up in Felicia's house and holds her at gunpoint, but of course they was doing too much talking. So the girl ended up smacking the gun out of her hand. They end up going back and forth, fighting, trading licks, kicking each other. Girl even got a plastic bag and put it on Diana's head to smother her, but Diana ended up getting out of it. She ended up getting the girl on the ground and grabbing a cast iron skillet and smashing her head in. And I was like, ooh, Diana, I ain't know you had it in you, girl, but she did, and now she officially got her first body. But I don't think that this is going to sour her, where she about to be this hardened criminal or anything like that, because quickly, soon after, she realized that Felicia has a child, and she freaks the fuck out, and she hurries up and calls Tariq and begs him to come help her. He arrives, and she was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I thought this was gonna make me feel better, but it doesn't. And he tells her how he thought avenging Raina's passing was going to make him feel better, but it's still with him to this day. The little boy ended up waking up. They lie and say that they work for the police station with the little boy mama and that they're there to watch him while his mama's at work. And Diana puts the little boy back to bed and Tariq is watching as she's doing so. And it was like they shared a little moment of like what could have been. And I was like, dang, they look so good together. Why y'all ain't have her keep the baby? Shoot. Instead of making her lose it. And they could have been a family. Y'all get on my nerves. But they end up having a sweet moment and they hugged each other and everything. And I was like, are there feelings there? Or is it just they're both in pain and hurt from what happened? I can't wait to find out if it's going to be more to it or if this is just what it is. So as they're trying to figure out how they about to get up out of this house with this dead body and a little boy upstairs, Monet ends up coming into the house and was like, oh my God, y'all did unalive this lady. She was like, look, y'all get up out of here. I'll handle this. And then next thing you know, Drew walked through the door and everybody like, what you doing here? But lo and behold, Carter is right behind him with his blicky out. And he realizes what has happened to Felicia. He's freaking out and everything. And now he tells Monet that he knows that she lied about the Russians and that they were protecting Noma and that Drew was the one that told her. And Monet was like, what have you done, boy? He was like, I'm trying to protect my family. This is and a third. And she just looking like, nigga, you's an idiot, bro. So Carter demands that Monet get him the leverage that he needs on Noma so he can take her down. And maybe he'll change Felicia Schmurder to an accident so Diana won't go to jail. So now he really has them by the balls, and now he has Tariq by the balls. Now Tariq is underneath his thumb. But remember, Tariq said he don't work for nobody. And he gave Carter a look like, I got you, playboy. You must not know who my daddy was and who my mama is. Okay. So you can tell that he's locked and loaded and ready to go. And he was remembering what his mama told him about being strategic, not making no rash decisions or anything like that. And then the episode goes off. It was a decent episode. But this, like I said, this Carter storyline is just all over the place. It's unrealistic. It's so stupid. Like all of this because his wife was murdered. Like what? And it's just dumb. It doesn't make sense. I feel like this season could have been written so much better, but it is what it is. So overall, I'm going to give this week's episode of Power Book 2 Ghost, I'm going to give it a C+. Yeah, a C+. It was cool for what it was, but I feel like it's going to end, this series is going to end on a stupid, dumb note. Is it just me, or do y'all think it's going to end dumb too? Let's talk about it down below in the comment section, you guys. Please make sure to thumbs up this video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on your post notifications so you know when my videos drop. I love you guys, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.